Good afternoon, and this is a special live breaking news report for Holidays LALATE, our midday lighthearted program in which we give you the latest update on your second stimulus check, your second stimulus package, about 10 minutes of it, and then at the 10-minute mark we get to some holiday decor. How to do things cheap or for free during the holiday season and keep it festive and lighthearted. I see a lot of people in the room, and thank you for joining me on another live recording of Holidays LALATE. There's breaking news across the board in the last few minutes about your second stimulus check, your second stimulus package, the negotiations, and what is unfolding, as what I told you over several weeks ago, will be the third stimulus package. What's important to understand is that as we sit here today, we're talking about relief between now and just a few weeks from now, and relief that would cover you between now and January. Then there's another relief bill that would come in January that would cover not just January forward, but also January back, potentially as far back to August. It sounds a little confusing, so let me break it down for you with the comments from President-elect Joe Biden minutes ago. Joe Biden literally downplayed the second stimulus package minutes ago and says when you look at it, you're not going to like it because it's a rushed short-term fix for just a few weeks, but I'm going to take care of you in January and take you retroactively and give you all the relief you need. We have to take that on face value. So let me explain what's coming after the holidays. Now, you and I know you can't wait around for money after the holidays. You need stimulus relief right now. You need a stimulus check. You need money right now. You need unemployment. You need UI. What's important to say before I start this, go into the details, is that because this is my heart and my feeling, in the last 2 days when we started to see this build up of stimulus talks from Congress, I feel, but I don't know if I'm true, that some viewers started to pay less attention to the CARES Act 1 money and said, you know what, I'll just wait till they give me a stimulus check in the next few days, or I'll wait till I get my unemployment benefits. I don't want you to do that. So I want you to focus on getting money right now this week. Well, it's Friday, Monday or Tuesday next week with me. I want you to focus on getting thousands and thousands of dollars with me on this channel for CARES Act 1 money, escalated benefits that have nothing to do with Congress. And that someone says no money for rent. That's what I want to help. Janet just says I need money for rent. That's what I want to do with all of you, because ultimately I don't want you to lose focus. I can see the loss of focus for some people, and I want to keep you focused. I'm in Arkansas, says Peggy. I need help. Or Poppy. Poppy, a great name. So there we go. Get to the stimulus, not the grants. Get off the channel if you want to not hear about free money, because grants is free money. It's stimulus. Stimulus is grants. Grants is stimulus. We can call them the same thing. Ultimately, it's the same word. It's free money. And ultimately, we are not going to sit here and say, I don't like that viewer who wants unemployment benefits because I only want this thing. We are one family and we're going to treat everyone with respect. So let's get to the details right now. What have I missed, says Frank. You just joined me minutes ago. You haven't missed anything. Opening remarks. Where we are right now is that there is no bill. There is no multiple bills. There is no reduction of anything to any writing from these people. All you have is negotiated memos. Her memo, his memo, their memo. Nancy Pelosi spoke today. Not a single number mentioned in her press conference. Not a single deal provision mentioned in her press conference. Nothing but a lot of adjectives and adverbs. So Nancy Pelosi spoke again, completely a waste of a conference call. She said absolutely nothing. We don't know what she's going to do or say. There were reports yesterday that she was going to go above $900 billion and that the problem solvers were going to say, no, we're not going to do that. And that Chuck Grassley for the Republicans said, no, we're not going to do that. She didn't even give us numbers today. She didn't even give us details or deal provisions. Mitch McConnell, no updates from Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's last position is his only position, $500 billion. He has not moved off of $500 billion. President Donald Trump, no update about his position. His last position was staying with Mitch McConnell, $500 billion. And problem solvers, no movement on them for the numbers. The only updates we really have that have changed since this morning are the following: the jobs numbers and the statements of pushing. So let me go over the details. Joe Biden is telling the Democrats the deal that you're going to make is going to be bad for December, but take it, and I will take care of the better stuff in January. So Joe Biden on his face is saying it's going to be bad. He says before the surge in COVID cases and deaths in December, we are headed into a dark winter. We need to pass something right now. If Congress and the president fail to act by the December 12th, 12 million Americans will lose their unemployment benefits. Emergency paid leave will end. The moratorium on evictions will expire. Wow. So Joe Biden is repeating the context of this channel. We need a moratorium on evictions and a moratorium on foreclosures. And he's talking about stimulus checks as well. Emergency paid leave will end. Cities and states will lose their ability to deal with these things. He's encouraged by the momentum, but he understands that the deal provisions will be poor. Any package passed in the next few days is not enough. It's just the start. He initially called it a down payment. Congress will need to act again in January. We will inherit the economic crisis, and we're working on a plan to get it done in the days that follow. Chuck Schumer spoke minutes ago and said the latest jobs report, which I'm getting to, shows that there needs for strong emergency relief. And Senate Republicans are increasingly understanding this urgency, and then he slams Mitch McConnell. Nancy Pelosi says the tone of our conversations is one that is indicative of the decision to get the job done. That's where we are right now. Bottom line is that there is really no change. What did I miss, Paula? You didn't miss anything. If you tuned into Mornings LALATE, there's literally not much change since Mornings LALATE, which is good, because ultimately the window of opportunity to drive the truck in and say stimulus checks, eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance, that is needed. It's ironic that we read a Joe Biden statement that says we need an eviction moratorium, but no one has written an eviction moratorium. So there's three things that Americans need right now: a stimulus check, an eviction moratorium, and a mortgage forbearance. And that's what Purple Power needs to get the message out loud and clear. Take these videos, share them with McConnell's chief of staff, press secretary, communications director, Pelosi's chief of staff and communications director, and each of the problem solvers, and say, listen, even Joe Biden says your proposals are no good. You need an eviction moratorium. We need a check, says Cheryl. We need a moratorium on foreclosures, and that will carry us to January. Now, for everyone else, you will get UI and you will get PUA extended. What's important to understand is that unemployment assistance is expiring or has expired in the next few days. PUA is expiring or will expire for some viewers in the next few days. All these proposals extend that. So you would get PUA and UI to the end of January at least. FPUC, likely to not come in this because Joe Biden wants to clean up FPUC in January. So for my viewers who are on unemployment, the relief will come. You would get UI and PUA continuing. If you've lost weeks of benefits and you're off benefits, you would go back onto benefits. Next, what's important to understand is that I will be staying with this developing story throughout the day. And on Being a Mitch, which yesterday was live, I'm going to again answer your questions on unemployment. Being a Mitch yesterday was an unemployment Q&A session. I enjoyed it and you enjoyed it. So I bring you questions about FPUC, about PUA and UI under these proposals to Being a Mitch, and I'll answer them then. But for now, the opportunity to get stimulus checks into this CR is still open. There is no bill, there's no agreement on the provisions, and there's no agreement on the amount. Earlier today, we learned from Larry Kudlow that he wants to repurpose CARES Act 1 money under this proposal. Larry Kudlow said that there's at least $600 billion sitting at SBA and that we should repurpose the money. I'm not paraphrasing it. He said repurpose and $600 billion. I said it's 800, 600, 800. We also learned this morning that a stimulus check would cost about $350 billion. So we have, and that's a $1,200 stimulus check. So we have enough for at least 2 stimulus checks, according to Larry Kudlow's calculations, just at SBA to send it out. Ultimately, the most important thing to understand is the White House wants to repurpose money. Now, the thing that was missing in Larry Kudlow's comments was a stimulus check. Even though Larry Kudlow has before said he wants to have a stimulus check go out, and the president has said he wants the stimulus check to go out. But Larry Kudlow says, I'm a little bit pissed because I keep on telling them to repurpose CARES Act 1 money. Mitch McConnell has written it in his current proposal. Steve Mnuchin has said it. And the Democrats, for some reason, don't want to repurpose all this CARES Act money. Now, let me turn to grants, because that is ultimately the thing that I want you to focus on here at the 11-minute mark. There is so much grant money, CARES Act 1 grant money. There is so much utilities money. There is so much escalated benefits money that I want you to get it. The following things are happening in the last few days or last few hours. First, some states are issuing stimulus checks. Colorado, you're going to get a $375 stimulus check. New Mexico, you're going to get a $1,200 stimulus check. As I said to that viewer earlier, you can call it a grant. Some states call it a grant. Some states call it a stimulus check. You're going to get a $1,200 stimulus check in New Mexico. In Anchorage, you're going to get what they're calling a grant, but it's also a stimulus check. In Los Angeles, they're going to come with a $25,000 grant for businesses. And in other cities and counties across the country, they're announcing new grant and rent programs. New York, Houston, Texas, and San Diego are among the new cities and counties announcing new rent, stimulus, grant, free money, whatever you call it, things in just the last few days. Georgia, there is something in Georgia. What's important to understand is that this is how you have to remain focused. Patricia asked a great question. What about Dallas? Someone right before Patricia just said, there's nothing in Georgia. That's wrong, because if you tuned into Purple Power Live last night, a viewer got a grant in Georgia. How did the viewer get a grant in Georgia? The viewer got a grant by understanding there are grants in every single state. And that ultimately, if you sit back and say, there's nothing in my state, you won't get it, and someone else will get it. And that's what's important to understand. Gwinnett County, if I'm pronouncing it right, in Georgia, has a $6,000 rent grant, and the viewer got $6,000 of rent. In Missouri, as Robert's asking right now, they have rent grants in St. Louis, and they have utilities grants across the entire state. Illinois, viewers have gotten rent grants. What about Arkansas? Yes, as well. New Hampshire, that's a new one. Haven't heard anything about New Hampshire. Texas is doing a mixture. It's using both religious communities, for example, the Christian charities, and they're also using private city grants. So Houston, for example, had nothing. Then they're coming back with something. Yvonne asked about Florida. In Florida, for example, Broward, Miami-Dade, Orange has stimulus check. West Palm and Palm all had rent grants, but some of them are going away. Some viewers report that Broward has gone away for rent. Then what about Camden, New Jersey? Viewers have gotten rent grants in New Jersey. South Carolina, viewers have gotten grants in South Carolina. Idaho, that I don't know. We haven't had a lot of questions about Idaho. Michigan, someone got some in the Michigan. West Virginia, someone got $15,000 in West Virginia in the first week of this. Kentucky, yes, private organization in Kentucky. Kentucky does have rent grants. It is either RISE or it's another private community. It's another private grant program that is paying rent, and that was revealed. Kentucky, Mississippi, and Alabama are among the ones that would have private groups that are paying the rent grants, and viewers have learned that from the Purple Power, and the volunteers know about that as well. How long are these going on? They're presumably only going on to mid-December. Ohio. We have an entire volunteer dedicated just to Ohio for rent grants. Oregon, someone has gotten rent grants in Eugene, so presumably they got it in Eugene, they'll get it in the other parts of the state. Can you get grants if you're not behind? Yes. Missouri, utilities everywhere, and in St. Louis, rent. Georgia, Gwinnett County up to $6,000. Connecticut, yes, some have gotten some stuff in Connecticut. Maine is doing $1,200 stimulus check like New Mexico. Every state's doing something different, so I don't know. Florida, I just answered a second ago. Detroit, someone got something in Detroit. Absolutely. Bronx, New York. There's reports that New York City is going live with a new rent grant program, but go to NHA. In NHA, they are, if I'm saying it right, your city housing authority. Someone got, I think it was either 10,000 or 15,000 in New York for rent from your city housing authority in New York. Indiana, someone got something. Arizona Housing Authority has grants, says Randy. Thank you, says Randy. Randy, I think it was just Randy. Montana, I don't know anything about Montana yet. That has not come up. North Carolina, yes, they do have stuff for North Carolina. California, San Diego, rent, and all the other counties, at least utilities. I own my house, so what can I get? Utilities, of course, all the utilities. No help for mortgages in North Carolina. Mortgages is a hard one. Virginia, yes, rent in Virginia. Tennessee, yes, rent in Virginia. West Virginia, I just covered, yes, absolutely West Virginia. Wisconsin, I don't know about that. New York, as to the city, the state, not so sure about every part of the state, but they're certainly doing utilities. West Virginia, yes, viewer got a massive amount for rent in West Virginia. New York, Long Island, I said it, Long Island. I'm not sure about the island, about the island itself, but absolutely utilities. Pennsylvania, that's an interesting one. Pennsylvania's city said no rent, but have you ever got the rent in Pennsylvania from a city agency? Really an interesting one. And also got utilities. Illinois, yes, someone got rent in Illinois. Georgia, we know at least Gwinnett, if I'm pronouncing that right. Can I get grants for a department? I don't know what that means. What about select cities? Yes, sometimes it's a city, sometimes it's a county, and sometimes it's a state. New Jersey, someone got New Jersey, absolutely. Our local church, yes. A lot of the religious groups and also the political groups. Rise, Catholic Charities, there was another one, Community Action Group, Urban League. All these groups are stepping up in different states and doing incredible stuff. Property tax, no. And they should have rent grants. They should have grants for property tax. Brooklyn, New York, your city's housing authority for low income, they are doing it. If that covers all the boroughs, I believe it covers all the boroughs because it was the city itself, the island. Ohio, yes, we have an entire volunteer dedicated just to Ohio. Alabama, State Housing Authority, absolutely. Kennett, Missouri, utilities. Do you drink coffee or to get all your energy? No, but I am sort of shouting today. I don't know why. Oklahoma, don't know about, someone got something in Oklahoma, but I don't remember where. Citians Ministries, there you go. NASA. I don't know about NASA. You keep on skipping Michigan. Michigan, someone got rent grants in Michigan. Maryland, someone got some rent grants in Maryland. How about Indiana stimulus? I haven't heard anything about Indiana yet. Nebraska, I haven't heard anything specifically about Nebraska. When I haven't heard anything doesn't mean I don't know of anything. Louisiana, someone got a big rent grant in Louisiana. Thank you for your help. Cody, Wyoming. I think someone got something in Wyoming. West Virginia, I know that for a fact. Someone got 15,000 West Virginia. Indiana, 2,000. So does that mean you got 2,000 in Indiana, Noel? How about South Carolina? Someone got something in South Carolina. You need bacon. I do need bacon. I can't find anything in Newman, Georgia. So if rental assistance in Los Angeles, no, but utilities, because they had rent assistance in LA in July. West Virginia, yes, West Virginia. Vancouver, Washington. We have 2 or 3 volunteers in Washington. And yes, someone, not yesterday, but the day before, got a rent grant in Washington. Dallas, Texas. I don't know about Dallas specifically, but I know that Houston just announced something 2 days ago. Do you have any beer grants? Actually, yes. Long Beach, California has announced a rent grant for bars. So there is a beer grant. Where's the beef? Lots of help in Dallas, I've heard. Oh, wonderful. So someone says they've heard a lot of help in Dallas. Panama City, if you have been 3 months behind on utility help, they'll help you out of Bay County, Florida, says Jerry. Thank you, Jerry, for the information. That's incredible. What about Arkansas? I think someone got something for Arkansas. Newman is part of Atlanta. Don't know about you, Atlanta. So Hugon got $500 for utilities in Louisiana. You want to also look at your state housing authority in Louisiana. Tucson. Tucson. I don't know about anything in Tucson yet. Beer grant, I'm laughing. BLT on sourdough. No, not taking orders yet at the delicatessen. Riverside County is offering something. So someone just said something about Riverside County. Why is Ohio only helping rent grants and not mortgages? Mortgage forbearance isn't really a grant. That's a great question. They're really not taking care of property owners these states. They're not doing mortgages. They're not doing taxes. It's been a big issue. How about Kentucky? Yes. I don't know if it was RISE, but someone got a rent grant in Kentucky through a private organization. Tennessee, yes. Wait, they don't have bacon. LALATE, the Grinch. No, I'm not the Grinch. Sirloin continues his grants at the Casino. $5,000 in Lawrence County rent grant paid. So if someone just said he got $5,500 in Lawrence County, Ohio for rent. That's Lawrence County, Ohio. Someone got $5,500. They just posted. What about Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? Yeah, so that's another one of those places where they don't say it on this. They don't say it on the city's website, but they do have it everywhere. That someone else got it for somewhere else. Do I work 24/7? Yeah, I'm working too much lately. San Diego, you have a rent grant. It's just announced. Go get it. I won't be doing the EIDL live today because that was just too much on me. But I will be doing Mitch live for unemployment. Why don't you do a live stream from Muscle Beach? I can. I have the TV show on Muscle Beach. I did it 10 years ago. I'll do it on a throwback recording. I was executive producer of the original Muscle Beach show. How about New York? Yes, there is a new New York grant, and there is one out of your city's housing authority. RPM Rent and Mortgage Relief Program in Virginia. So someone just posted something for Virginia, not West Virginia, but Virginia. We appreciate all your help, Teresa. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your honesty and helping everyone. Yes, ultimately, sometimes I do get a little pissed off when someone jumps in and says, I just want to hear if I'm getting a stimulus check. I don't want to hear about people getting their rent paid. Well, Guam. Oh, that's a really good one. I don't know about Guam. I'll look for it. If you need help for something like Guam that's a little bit harder, reach out to the volunteers at youtube.com/LALATE/community. Arizona. Some people have gotten Arizona. Thank you for the nice comment. Someone just said it, a really nice comment. PUA in Alabama. I'll answer your PUA questions on Mitch this afternoon. Corone, Texas. I don't know about Corone, Texas. I don't even know what county Corone is in. Bagels. Someone's urging for bagels. Thank you, Jody, for the nice comment. Upstate New York announced a new rent grant program. So someone just posted that Upstate New York just announced a rent grant program. Can the person who just posted that say what counties that's for, if you know? Upstate New York, a new rent grant program. If you know what counties that is, please post it. I learned from you. So that's the way I learned this stuff. LA for President 2024. Does Pennsylvania have a stimulus check? No, but it does have a rent program. And a moo-moo there. Chef Roberto is in the room cooking up some stimulus checks. Hello, Chef Roberto. Need my toast buttered. Here's a moo. Scott Watson with the moo. Arkansas says it's no new applications. City of Atlanta expands housing relief to residents affected by COVID, includes mortgage. Okay, so someone just posted in Atlanta, they have a rent and mortgage program just announced. I'll say it again. Someone just said that in Atlanta, they now have a rent and grant program and mortgage. City of Atlanta expands their program for also mortgages. Thank you so much to that viewer for saying that. I just want you to know I love your shows. Well, I appreciate that. New Jersey, yes, in New Jersey. That person that had the comment about upstate New York, do you know what counties that was? Someone says, yes, I heard about Atlanta. This is really good news. So Gwinnett was just announced, and now we have Atlanta. So this is all breaking in the last few we're in Atlanta. I think it's all of Atlanta. It's just it's just where Real Housewives are located. I don't know. Where is the rent grant in Pennsylvania? That one was a little bit harder. It was not so much in the city because it was somewhere else. Why all of a sudden when they go above $900 billion when they're willing to do 1.9? Because that's a really good question. Because now it's sort of a short-term fix. West Virginia, yes, someone got big rents in West Virginia. Atlanta are all the counties of Atlanta. I don't know how Atlanta's set up, so I can't. I don't even know if Atlanta's the city and county or just the city. Help in New Mexico, yes, New Mexico across the board, really great stuff. California, utilities, yes, and San Diego, rent. What about Idaho? I don't know. LA, did you miss my chat? I don't. Did you go live also? I didn't go live when you were. Did they retract the $300 unemployment? No. There is no agreement on anything from these people for the negotiations. So if you're just joining me and you're hearing a lot of stuff about Atlanta's the city. If you're hearing a lot about rent and grants, let me tell you where we are today. There is literally no update since this morning. Nancy Pelosi spoke. No substance, no numbers, no items, just talked like she was writing a novel. America is this and America is that. Chuck Schumer then spoke and did this usual thing Chuck Schumer says. Mitch McConnell's ignoring America. Mitch McConnell's ignoring America. Joe Biden spoke and says, you're not going to like the deal. You're not going to like the deal. I'll take care of you in January. You're not going to like the deal. And that's basically where we are. There is no bill. There is literally 5 versions of offers in memos, and there's no guidance as to when there's going to be an actual writing of anything beyond the proposals. And as you sit here today, we're sort of running out of days. So Pelosi put a bill, but she withdrew her bill. Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer and Pelosi's writings on the first day have been withdrawn. So those are no longer at issue. So Pelosi does not have a memo. Schumer does not have a memo. Problem solvers have a memo. Mitch has a memo. Pelosi's vowing to give another memo. And I have a memo. My memo is send the darn stimulus check out already. If you've not, please share this video and tag McConnell, his press secretary, his communications director, and others. Oneida County in upstate New York will find out about other counties. So thank you, Nancy. Oneida County, upstate New York. Georgia, please vote Democratic. Stimulus checks or shutdown. Yes. So to recap, what we did learn from you today is that Atlanta now has a rent program. Upstate New York now has a rent program. And I think we learned about one other city. I can't remember where it was. But that's the great news. Where did they find it in Atlanta? I don't know. So Atlanta joins Gwinnett. And congratulations to New York, which New York City had it is being announced across the board, but also their city housing authority. And Marietta-Cobb County said this morning, oh, here we go. So Connie says in Georgia, Marietta, Cobb County are joining Gwinnett and joining Atlanta. So we're up to 4 counties in Georgia that are rushing to do rent grants. This is incredible news. This is why I want you to stay with me and focus, not because I need viewers, not because I need subscribers, but because there's a lot of this from Congress, And no one is giving you rent grants except your cities and your counties. Your counties and your states are taking really good care of you in some cases. And what I want you to say, stay with me, is stay with me because ultimately that's going to step in and do things. Here, for example, in Los Angeles, some of the counties are announcing eviction moratoriums to protect you because they see Congress is not getting it done. When does it start in New York State? I don't know. I think it's, the person said, in the next few days. So we're hearing all this great news about, thank you, Scott, I think it's Scott Watson. Thank you, Scott Watson. We're hearing all this great news about new rent grants in Georgia, in New York, and we that goes on top of Colorado, New Mexico, Alaska, California in some regard, and elsewhere. Thank you for this information on the rent grants. I appreciate it. And remember, as I railed on that viewer earlier, grants are stimulus. Stimulus are grants. Free is free. Free is free. I don't care if you call it free or freebie or stimulus or grants. It's all the same thing. And ultimately, we're all part of an incredible community. And what if you're not behind but need help? Great question. Apply. Just apply because ultimately they're all a little bit strange. I don't want you to not apply. They found stimulus under the table in Fulton County. There you go. LA County, of course, is giving. I'll end with a rant. LA County is giving $45,000 stimulus checks to business owners that own restaurants that are worth $4 to $5 million. So everyone is just sort of finding money all over the place at the last second. Governor Kim Reynolds, she's not helping unemployment. Stay with me because I'll help you buy as well. Thank you, as always, staying tuned with me on this live recording of Holidays LA, which I forgot to go over the decor in this video. I'll catch the decor in the next recording tomorrow, but join me at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, which is about 3 hours from now, on big developments on Check. As always, stay informed, stay focused, and stay in LA for more.